everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today we're going to do the Guilty Reader tag. So question number 1 is, have you ever re-gifted a book that you've been given? Have I ever re-gifted a book? I probably have. I just don't know which one off the top of my head. There was a book that I mentioned in my great big unhaul of 2017. I don't even remember the name of the book anymore. But anyways, the story behind that book was that it was gifted to me for my birthday from someone at work, but they just put it on my desk and then didn't leave a note. I don't even know who it was from, and it was a book filled with like super inspirational quotes, and I'm just not a fan of those. And I thought about regifting that one for sure. Okay, question number 2 is, have you ever said that you've read a book when you haven't? And that is for sure I have, because I was an English major, and of course we said that we read all sorts of books, and we lied about it, and we also skimmed through books so we could finish our papers on time. So I've definitely said that I've read books when I haven't, just so that way I could pass my classes. Have you ever borrowed a book and not returned it? Yes. From my elementary school library. There's a copy. Do I have it with me? I have this one. This is The Giver by Lois Lowry. This is the original copy that I read. The name on there is Saunders. That's not my last name, because I borrowed it from my elementary school like stack of books, and I just never gave it back. Question number 4 is, have you ever read a series out of order? No. Nope. I'm pretty faithful to that, because once I find a series of books that I really want to commit myself to, I commit myself to it. Like when I discovered Robin Hobb last year, I literally Googled what reading order do I read Robin Hobb in, and I read through all of the threads. I found the thread on Reddit, I found the Barnes & Noble like blog post. Same thing I did to Brandon Sanderson. I will Google the reading order just so that way I know that I'm consuming the story in the correct way. So I don't think I've read a series out of order. That's question number 5 is, have you ever spoiled a book for someone? I really try not to, and if I have spoiled a book for someone, it wasn't intentional. I'm very careful when I read a book to make sure I articulate what I want to say without spoiling it for people that haven't even approached it, haven't read it. But then of course when I find someone who has read the book, then I'm like, yes, let's talk, because there's so many things I need to say. Okay, question number 6 is, have you ever dog-eared a book? And the answer is yes. They're my books, whatever. Like, I know some people find that sacrilegious and they're like, no, I would never. I do, it's fine, whatever. It's my book, it's my book. But honestly, if it's like, I can't find a bookmark, I dog-ear it. It's super convenient, so that's that. Question number 7 is, have you ever told someone you don't own a book when you do? No. Because what would be the point of that? Like, why would I tell them that I own a book when I don't? I'm just like, I'm usually pretty truthful in that regard. I'm just like, I don't have that one. Or if I know I don't have an interest in it and I don't own it, then I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna buy that, so pass. Question number 8 is, have you ever told someone you haven't read a book when you have? That I haven't read a book when I have. Ooh, that's the reverse of the question. That I haven't read a book when I have. No, again, I'm like pretty vocal about what I've read. Obviously, because you can find me on Goodreads. Like books that embarrass people, like some people don't want to admit that they've read all of the 50 Shades of Grey series. What's the point of like hiding from that? I read it, and after I got done reading it, then I promptly sold it to the bookstore because I was like, I'm never gonna read these again, but I was just like, I gotta read them and see what the hell these are about. Wow, I'm like a really straight and narrow kind of reader. That's crazy. I guess the worst thing that I've done is dog-ear a book page. Question number 9. Have you ever skipped a chapter or a section of a book? Yes. One of the books that I've done that to is Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This is book number 2 in the Red Queen series. This book was terrible. There were legitimately times where I was just like, nope. I also did that to big chunks of the books 4 and 5 of the Mortal Instruments series. I was so over all those teenage romances. Like, it's not like I don't appreciate some teenage romances, but the sheer number of teenage romances in that book, I was like, I'm over this. Like, all of the sections in book 5 that were about the 2 teenage werewolves, no, I was over that one, so I skipped tons of sections in those two. And the final question is, have you ever badmouthed a book that you actually liked? No, I would be the first person to tell you how much I love a book. I've never badmouthed it. Am I critical of some of the ones that I like? Absolutely, because I'm a critical reader. I think the closest thing that I've come to badmouthing is the Outlander series. I'm a huge fan of the Outlander series, and I've read all 8 books. But Diana Gabaldon suffers from talking just to talk and writing just to write things. Like, there are massive portions of those books that I could have done without, and it would have still been fine for the story. Did your editor not read through this whole thing? I was just curious. So no, I haven't badmouthed, but I've been a little bit critical. Okay, so that was a super easy tag to do. There was just 10 questions. I do want to take this time to tag some fellow small booktubers out there. So that way you can find their channels. If they've already done the tag, that's fine. But I just want you to go ahead and find these channels if you haven't already found them. All of these Booktube channels are under 1,000 subscribers. So the first one that I want to mention is Game of Tomes. Oh my god, I love them. 2 women coming together, they're best friends doing this YouTube channel. Now, I've had another YouTube channel for a long time, and I've only done 1 video with someone else on my channel because I can't do videos with other people. Like, it just doesn't work for me. It ruins my vibe. And those 2 just have a really great chemistry. You can tell they're best friends. Like, when they're giggling about something, I'm giggling along with them, like as if I was in the room, like laughing at their inside joke. I don't know, I think they're great. So Game of Tomes, I'm tagging you. And the next channel that I want to tag is Alexis from The Sloth Reader. She is a fellow booktuber under 500 subscribers. I've tagged her in a video before, and she's a Hufflepuff, and she reads fantasy and some young adult. She and I got along because we were both like trashing the Mortal Instrument series together in the comment section. Please go ahead and check out her channel if you haven't already. And the final channel that I want to shout out and send you to and tag is Plots and Points. He also does a lot of fantasy, and he's going through the whole Wheel of Time series right now. So he just posted his review of the first one, The Eye of the World. He just posted that one. If you're a fan of Robert Jordan and you're a fan of the Wheel of Time series, he's starting on that this whole year, so you can follow him along on that journey. So you can go ahead and check out his channel. You can find me on any of my social media if you haven't already. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at WhatCastRead, the same as his channel, so I'm super easy to find. And of course, you can also find me on Goodreads, and the link is down below. Thank you so much for joining me. You know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.